if you guys haven't heard, what's happening in PlayStation is basically PlayStation has announced their next console, their next gen console, PlayStation 6, will no longer be supporting physical games, which basically means there's not going to be more disk drives. There's not going to be any more discs. You won't be able to plug in your games into the actual PlayStation like you used to be able to. Like whether it be like older games like you got cartridges or up to like CDs that we had now, you won't be able to play those anymore. And this is very bad. If you guys don't know what this means, basically means first of all, companies are killing off how much we can own. And this is not going to be just PlayStation. More people. This is going to start a trend. You can see already happening with Nintendo when they did the whole thing of like even if you buy a physical thing, it just downloads the game onto your Switch, and then you just own the license to use it, which is already a bad thing. So we're gonna lose ownership of our games, which is already happening with other companies. We won't be able to trade games or like physical games like that anymore. I remember in like 2014 or something like that, PlayStation made fun of Xbox for not sharing games. Like they made a video where they just like handed a disc to someone else and be like, "See, we can share," poking at them. But now they're revoking that in itself entirely. PlayStation having a monopoly, like these companies won't be able to like they won't be able to push their games on the PlayStation. They have to go through the store, which means they're gonna have to have a monopoly and not just have their own physical games. Like people like Target, Best Buy, Amazon, they won't be able to complete because all you can do is just buy physical or digital stuff, which would mean on PlayStation Store. And this just allows for publishers to keep digital games at maximum price, like for a long time, because games often go down in price, especially for physical versions. Now it's just gonna the prices are gonna stay high for a long time. You won't, as I said earlier, you won't be able to share or borrow, and if a game is taken off a store, you won't be able to get it ever again, no matter what. PlayStation owns that. If you buy it, they'll be able to take it off. Because if you guys don't also don't know what happened with PlayStation, is they took off several hundred movies off the PlayStation Store. People had bought them. They didn't get any refunds, no nothing back. They paid money to keep the movie, watch it how many ever times they want. They never got refunds. They got nothing back from PlayStation. So not only does that affect movies and just digital media, this will affect games as well. Because if you buy the physical game, if you buy a game, I mean the digital game on PlayStation, they have full rights to just revoke it, and you won't own it. It won't matter. You won't get anything back. You are paying just to use the license to play the game, not to own the game, just to use the license to own the game. And this is just moving towards a more digital world, which is kind of scary because this is just This is just peak capitalism, peak greed. If you guys don't know, because if the PlayStation 5, one of the biggest marketing things they had was that you could buy a disc drive, which meant you could continue to do disc media, physical media to own your games. But now all that's becoming obsolete. If everything's backwards compatible and they own on the PlayStation 6 to PlayStation 5, you won't be able to play some of the games because it's just straight digital media. And this is insane to me because how how are you this is just gonna be the end of an era. Basically this is the end of a lot of things for gaming, and at this point they're overpricing their PlayStation. They said it's gonna be around 1,000. At this point it's better to just save up for a PC so you can own more of your actual console rather than this. And if you guys are able to, we gotta find out some way to boycott PlayStation, do anything, because this is going to lead to a lot of things of digital dominance versus what the consumer has in the future. And they were like, yeah, sure. I'm like, most of our sales are made on 85% of revenue is already digital, but I mean, like that still doesn't account for a lot of other microtransactions, live services, or like just indie titles that can only be like that. So the fact is, like, there are still millions of people who would still play physical discs for a lot of their games, and this is just very bad for the community. They're just they're just moving forward to something that will lead to us having less choices and higher prices in the future, and this is not good for us. So we have to do what we can, look into it, do something about it. I know I will be trying to look into what we can do to make sure, like maybe sign petitions and whatnot, but this is not good for us as a whole. So PlayStation's moving towards that greedy route. This is genuinely really scary for gamers, at least for console gamers. Like because I play on PlayStation, which sucks, but it's a shame. I just literally wanted to come talk about this because this is definitely a big thing for me, considering I own a PlayStation. I do play on PC too, but consoles were supposed to be a cheaper alternative for people who could not afford a PC, because PCs right now, especially during the all the RAM, all the CPU, because of AI and now all that stuff, it's really scary. And especially in right now's economy, where the economy is doing very terribly, the housing bubble's going up. It's just like a lot of stuff is bad for us right now, and just for them to switch up on console consumers, when console's supposed to be for it's supposed to be a cheaper alternative, and maybe I don't think it's worse, but it's supposed to be a cheaper alternative, and now they're doing this. This is really a shame on their company, a shame on what they stand for, I guess, if they stand for anything at all, because they're a major corporation. This is just scary, guys. I mean, it just sucks. It just sucks. Might be time to go back to Xbox, or might just time to switch over to PC only. But that's about it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching our support, and I'll see all you dudes in the next one. Peace out.